Growing up, my village had its fair share of ghost stories, but nothing was as chilling as the tale of Victor, the blood drinker. People claimed he was once a renowned doctor in the city, a surgeon obsessed with extending life. But one day, Victor disappeared from his practice, retreating to the outskirts of our village, where rumors of his morbid interests slowly began to circulate. Some whispered he sought eternal youth. Others claimed he experimented with blood, human blood. At first, Victor's presence was merely unsettling. He appeared only in the shadows, a tall figure cloaked in dark clothing, his face pale as marble and his eyes hollow. He would stare at passers-by with an unsettling intensity, his gaze fixed, almost hungry. Stories of villagers missing began as murmurs, whispers in the market, or late-night fireside gossip. But they became harder to ignore. Some would vanish for days, then return, alive, but unnervingly quiet and forever changed. Others, though, weren't as lucky. Then it happened to me. One night, as I was walking home from my friend's house, I heard footsteps. They were slow, deliberate, but always out of sync with mine. My pulse quickened, and without daring to look back, I sped up. The footsteps quickened too. It was a terrible, drawn-out game, my pulse hammering with each step. Finally, I glanced over my shoulder, and there he was, Victor, his face illuminated by the moonlight. His eyes were dark, void of any warmth, yet his lips curled into a smile that was anything but friendly. I raced home and locked every door, every window, but the knocking came around midnight, soft at first, then more insistent. A low voice seeped through the wood. "Let me in. Just for a moment. I know you're curious. I only need a little." I stayed silent, barely breathing. The knocking persisted every night, each time more desperate, more ravenous. I confided in my friend, but no one believed me. "It's just the wind," they'd say, laughing off my fear. They hadn't seen Victor's eyes, hadn't heard his whispers, his promise to return every night. Then a terrible pattern emerged. More people were going missing, only to be found in abandoned fields or alleys, pale, lifeless, with 2 small punctures on their necks. Victor's name grew notorious. Every villager was on edge. Even the animals seemed agitated, sensing something foul in the air. On the 10th night, I reached my breaking point. My hands shook as I opened the door, expecting him to be there. But nothing. Just a chilling emptiness, the mist swirling under the moon's pale light. I returned to bed, exhausted, my nerves frayed. Yet in the silence, a voice broke through the night, so close I felt it beside my ear. "I'm already inside." Cold fear crept up my spine. I felt a shadow move, a cold breath on my neck, and a whisper in my ear. "You let me in." And just as I turned, a sharp pain seared into my skin like a burning needle piercing my neck. Days passed, but I'm not sure I ever truly woke up. I see things now, like glimpses in a fog, a hunger in my veins, a thirst that can never be quenched, and Victor's face, always in my mind, smiling that terrible, empty smile. I fear I am becoming just like him, forever cursed to walk the night, a shadow, a whisper, the blood drinker's echo.